I have an update that I would like to make. It's one that I've been trying to make. It's about a genetic test I took.
Oh,
It's kind of a funny story.
are you like? Is that one of the a genetic tests to trace your ancestry?
It is. It's a genetic test to trace your ancestry. Yeah. Through Ancestry.com and 23andMe, and I did those genetic tests.
That's kind of interesting.
Is it okay if
Yeah,
I talk about it?
yeah, go for it. Yeah, it
Okay.
should be interesting.
Okay. So basically, this happened a while back, or maybe, I don't know, a year ago or 6 months ago, something like that. But anyway, my wife had taken the 23andMe genetic test.
Okay.
Okay. There's multiple companies that do this, where they essentially send you a test kit and you provide a sample of your saliva and you mail it back to them. And in a lab, they run these tests, these advanced tests to trace your ancestry based on, I guess, maybe blood traces in your saliva or something like that.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know exactly how they do it, but that's the process. And my wife had done this. Like, you spit into a test tube and you mail it back to them and they do tests on it. And then they give you the results like a few weeks later. And my wife did that. First her brother did it, Alex, and then she did it because
Okay.
she was like, I want to see. And their results were nearly identical, but it turns out actually siblings, the percentages that siblings inherit of a given ancestral trace, it can vary. So you can have a brother and sister and they don't have exactly mirrored genetic test results. And what these tests do is they essentially trace the DNA back to geographic regions, or like back to DNA types that they've identified that it looks similar to, that sort of come from certain populations in the world. They can break apart your DNA and say, okay, we're seeing this percentage from Germany, this percentage is coming from India, whatever it is.
Right.
And they'll give you that printout. So my wife did the test and she was like, you should do the test. She was like, I want you to do the test too. That would be really cool. And she was like, you should do the test.
Okay.
So I went with the same company that she and her brother had both gone with, which was 23andMe. I did the test. I spit in the tube, do the process, mail it back to them. And it takes a little time. It takes a few weeks for them to do the test and get back to you. So I got my test back, which was cool, from 23andMe.
Okay.
The results that it said,
Okay.
it kind of works its way from broadest down to most specific.
Okay.
And it starts with the larger percentages and breaks it down, works its way down. So I'll just read exactly what this test result said. It said European 98.2%. And then it said British and Irish, it just sort of like lumped them together, which was interesting. But it said like British and Irish 68.1%. And then it said German, mostly Black Forest region, 23.3%. And then it said broadly Northwestern European, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. 4.9%. Eastern European, 1%.
Okay.
Southern European, 0.9%. Italian, 0.9%, so less than 1% slightly. And then it said Sub-Saharan African, Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, 1.5%. So I'm 1.5% black.
Nice.
I'm one of the
Nice.
brothers.
Nice.
But so this is the interesting thing is I didn't expect that. Okay. And no one had ever known about or talked about that at all in any way, shape, or form. And as a matter of fact, my grandpa is pretty into genetics and tracing our family ancestry and heritage. And he had done, he's from an older generation where they didn't have these more advanced tests.
Right.
So he would do things like go to the library or whatever the place is that stores a lot of public records and find, volumes about people we were related to and try to pull up family trees and paste them together and all this stuff. And what my grandpa, who was really into genealogy, had told me was that we were part Native American and also part Jewish, like Ashkenazi Jewish. And his last name is Snyder, which comes from Germany, like
Right.
Schneider. And Snyder is a name that can swing both ways. It can be Ashkenazi Jewish or not at all, and it can go both. Some names are more likely to really just be Ashkenazi Jewish. Some German names are more likely to be Jewish, such as Goldblum.
Right.
So my grandpa told us for years, like literally I was raised thinking that I was a small part Jewish and a small part Native American, like Cherokee Native American.
Right.
And there's a lot of Americans who will, like, there's a lot of white Americans like me who will tell people, hey, I'm part Native American.
That's true.
Some of them are, but others probably aren't.
Now you have proof, though.
So now I did this test, right? And one, not even a single trace of Jewish of any kind, Ashkenazi. And they'll tell you on these tests, I've seen it on these, they will say Ashkenazi and they'll give you a percentage. Not even a 0.001%. And let me tell you, guess what? If you're part Jewish, your genetic test is going to show it. It might not know how to identify some obscure thing of a country that 100 people are from or some island somewhere. They might not tell you that.
Yeah.
But it'll tell you if you're Jewish.
Yeah.
So I'm not Native American at all. And I'm not Jewish either. But I am part black. And guess what? That was another little tidbit my grandpa left out of the story or just wasn't aware of. I think he wasn't aware of. 1.5% black. And I mean, it's a small percentage, but it's there.
Yeah.
And it's like no one ever talked about this. And when I read my results back and saw that pop up at the very bottom of the results, guess what? I was shocked. But I was like, wow, that's kind of like interesting.
Yeah.
So I told my mom. I told her, hey, Mom, I took a genetic test with 23andMe, and it disproved some of the stuff Grandpa has been, like, telling us.
Right.
Like, we're not Jewish at all. We don't, there's no Native American on there, and there's like 1.5% African. My mom was like, well, those tests aren't always correct.
Right.
And she was like, I think the African might be from your father. And I was like, okay. And I was like, do you have any proof of that? Or like, do you have like a reason to think that? And he's like, well, your father's from the South. His family's all from Arkansas. And, it's, we don't know what those people were doing, and we don't know, so I think it's probably from your father.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, seemed weird about me telling her these results.
Right.
And I was like, why is she being so fucking weird about this?
Right.
Why is it like, but she just wanted to just invalidate the test. She's like, yeah, those things don't really work. It might be flawed. The data is maybe wrong. Because she was like, we had a Native American ancestor. She was an Indian squaw, and she married, one of our family, and that's why we're part Native American. And I was like, Mom, we're not part Native American. That I know Grandpa's been telling us that story. There's no way that woman was an Indian squaw, a Native American squaw, because I took this genetic test. There's no Native American on it. And she's like, well, I don't know that those tests are really real. They might be wrong. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I text my grandpa next.
Okay.
And he promptly offers to give me the money to retest with a different company. So he offers me like $130. It's not cheap to do these.
Right.
He offers me like $130. He's like, I'll send you the money. I want you to retest with Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
So I was like, in my mind, I was like, it's not going to be any different. The results are going to be like the same.
Yeah.
But you know what? If it proves that this stuff is real, I guess I'll have the last laugh.
Yeah, I'm curious if you will get the same results, because this is an interesting test. Like, I kind of want to know, because I've seen them too, and I always assume, that's only going to work for Americans, because they probably have their database is mostly like Americans, so it won't. I can't do it. But now I've always been curious about it myself because India has also had a history of like conquests and populations coming in.
Have you
So
ever done one of these things?
I've never, because I just always assume that it's only for like Americans because
Because
the
they're so
database.
mixed.
Yeah, because they're so mixed, and I'm guessing since it's an American company, their database of genes is mostly American.
Well,
But
dude, I'll tell you, I didn't know I was some of those things.
yeah, yeah.
So
I,
you
I'm
might be surprised.
I'm kind of, yeah. I kind of want to
Yeah.
try it. I might try it to be
You
honest
might
with
be
you,
surprised.
just to see. Yeah, but I'm really curious whether you get the same results.
Yeah. And I was like, if he's gonna finance it, sure,
Yeah.
I'll do it. It's
That
a
was,
so I order the test from Ancestry.com because those are the two biggest names
yeah,
in genetic testing, Ancestry.com and
yeah,
23andme.com.
yeah. Yeah,
So
I've definitely heard of Ancestry. 23andMe, I think I heard it recently, but
right,
when I
so I
was in
think
the
my
US, I
grandpa
heard
was like
Ancestry.
23andMe. I don't
What's
know if
that?
that's
Doesn't sound
legitimate. I've
right.
never heard of that.
Yeah, right,
And I'm
right.
like, okay. So I order, he like sends me the money. I order the test from Ancestry.com, make the account. I spit in the tube again, mail it to Ancestry.com. Had to like take it to the post office in a sealed envelope thing and everything.
Right, right.
Drop it off at the post office.
You
And,
know,
yeah.
I think with your grandfather and your mom, I think it's just that they grew up kind of like believing something. So
Yeah.
it's like some suddenly it's been challenged. So I don't. Maybe that's why they're so like, no, wait, we gotta
Yeah.
be sure about this.
No, definitely. There's
Yeah.
definitely an element of that, especially I think for my grandpa,
Yeah, because
because
sounds like he researched it quite a bit,
yeah,
right?
he had
Yeah,
put like time into researching it, and
right.
I don't think he wanted to be surprised or to feel like he had been wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think his ego was on the line a little bit there.
yeah.
It was weird how quick my mom was to like shove it over to my dad's side, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So your dad's the black one. There's no
Well,
way it's me.
that explains
really
why
funny.
you and your dad are so good at the guitar, maybe. Just kidding.
Well, hold on. We don't know that it's through my dad yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Let's not jump to conclusions like my
jump.
mom did. So the
I
result
always knew when you played that guitar, playing those solos, I was like, there's some soul in that boy.
where I get my rhythm's coming from somewhere. It's deep in my roots. I got those southern roots, baby. So anyway, I get the results back from Ancestry.com, right? And I sign into my account and I look at the results. And I will now read for you the exact results I got back
Oh, wait,
from.
you already got it back?
Oh yeah,
geez.
this stuff happened like a year ago.
Oh,
I've just
wow.
never talked about it.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. It's kind of an awkward story, and it was an awkward experience for everyone involved. And so
Well, let's hear. I'm curious. I want to know what Ancestry said.
I get the results back from Ancestry.com. Of course, I mean my hands were practically shaking with excitement to open this thing. Okay, so I look at the results. I'm gonna read for you the results, the exact readout from Ancestry.com.
Okay.
And the really interesting thing is, the results are very similar, but the way they word it and how specific they were about certain things is different. And so
Okay.
that Ancestry did actually reveal, I would say, more specific things
Okay.
than 23andMe did. Okay, so Ancestry.com results. England and Northwestern Europe, 26%.
Okay.
Scotland, 21%.
Okay.
I was like, fuck yeah, Braveheart, baby.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. 21% Scottish. Holy shit. Like, I didn't know I was almost a quarter Scottish.
Yeah.
That was kind of like, that was really interesting for me. And 23andMe didn't even mention Scotland.
Yeah.
It was really wild. And so then, but I guess it was lumping Scotland. 23andMe was just
Probably, yeah.
lumping Scotland in with Ireland and England
Yeah.
as like Celtic, basically.
Yes. Yes.
So Ancestry.com was kind of better in some ways. But so Scottish, 21%. Welsh, like Wales, 20%.
Oh.
I never knew that I was 20% Welsh. That was really interesting too. And then it said Germanic Europe, whatever that means, 10%. And then it said Norway, 8%. And that was another thing 23andMe didn't even mention at all. No mention of Norway.
There you go.
8% is like, it's like, I mean, it's a chunk. And it's like, so it was interesting. Ancestry highlighted that one. And then it said Ireland, 7%.
Okay.
And I always thought I was more Irish than that. So that was interesting too.
Okay.
France, 4%. Ho, ho, ho. I was like, holy shit, okay.
Nice.
Didn't know about that. Again, 23andMe didn't even mention it.
Just had a natural love of croissants.
Yeah, and then it said Sweden and Denmark, 2%. And then at the very bottom, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Cameroon, and the Congo, 2%.
Whoops.
So...
Right there.
There's your African there.
There it is.
There's your black.
Yep.
23andMe gave it 1.5%. So not only did my grandpa lose that bet, but they raised it to a higher percentage.
Yeah, I was going to say it doubled down.
So now it's 2%, a nice round number. So I then, messaged him back.
Yeah.
So I told my grandpa.
Yeah.
He still didn't believe it. He still wouldn't. I don't know if he was just messing with me. I don't know what his game was, but it was like he just wouldn't accept it. He wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
He's like, these tests, they don't, we don't know what they mean. And it's like, I just got tested twice by 2 different companies, and they both said I'm 2% African. What do you want? You want me to do another? It was so funny. Yeah. So he wouldn't accept that. And he's like, and he still wouldn't accept that we weren't part Jewish and part Native American. He still, to this day, tells people that we're part Jewish.
Yeah.
And when I hear him say that shit, I'm like, no, we're not. We're just not. I mean, you can make it up and pretend, but it's not true. There's no evidence of it. In fact, there's evidence to the contrary.
Yeah.
So then my next thing was, man, I really want to prove that the black comes from him.
So did you
not my dad. Because I bet it's from him, Yeah. Like, how perfect would that be? Yeah. The guy who's least willing to accept it, I want it to be from him. So I wasn't speaking to my dad at this time. I hadn't spoken to him in years, actually. I am now.
That's good.
Yeah, thankfully now we've resumed communication. We have a nice, long distance form of relationship that's like peaceable, and it's nice. Different story for another day. But anyway, the point is, at this time, I wasn't really talking or communicating actively with my dad at all. Yeah. And I hadn't talked to him in years. So I couldn't ask him direct. I had heard from my sister that he did a genetic test with Ancestry.com at one point.
Oh, okay.
So I knew that he knew exactly what his genetics were as well.
All right.
But I didn't know what they were. So I texted my sister and I told her what was happening. And I was like, I wanted her to get tested, but she didn't want to do it, didn't want to pay for it. And I mean, my mom didn't want it. I think my mom just didn't want to know or didn't want to deal with it or didn't care, all of the above. So nobody else would do it. So I was like, Laura, can you get Dad's, DNA test results from Ancestry.com? Like, because I'm not talking to Dad, obviously, but could you just ask him for those and text them to me? And she's like, and I'm like, I need you to text them to me, get him to screenshot it, get him to, I need evidence,
Yeah. Not just
right. Not just words. So she was like, yeah, sure. I'll work on that. And she did that and she got his test results. And guess what? Not a speck of African. So at this point I knew beyond any shadow of a doubt, I mean, there was no darkness about it. No, just kidding. Yeah. I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was from my mom.
Yeah.
Which means it was either from my grandpa, the one who doesn't want to accept the results of the test, or his wife, my grandma, Betty. And let me tell you, my grandma is whiter than a sheet.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a white lady. And
Yeah.
so my grandpa has a little bit of an olive complexion. Like he's white, but he's not the
Yeah.
whitest looking dude you've ever seen. Didn't you meet my grandpa?
I did. I met your grandma and your grandpa. Yeah, on your mom's side.
Yeah, you did when you came to Maryland.
That's
You
right.
totally did. And so, I mean, like, it's like when you see my grandpa, you're not like, this is the whitest man I've ever seen in my, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he
kind
looked like he could tan like a bit, like,
yeah, kind of an olive complexion.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's, you kind of don't, you don't know for sure.
Yeah.
And people say that about me sometimes too. And, it's like, I kind of inherited that olive complexion from him. And anyway, so I didn't know who was part African, but I figured if I had to put my money on it, probably not my grandma, because she just looks so white.
Yeah.
She's actually where the Norwegian comes through, and she really kind of looks Norwegian. Like, she looks really white. So I was like, I bet it's from my grandpa. I was like, at this point, I'm putting all my chips down that it's my grandpa, Okay, so now I had this evidence that it wasn't from my dad. I sent it to my mom and my grandpa to show them. I was like, Mom, it's not from Dad. It's from you. You're the black one. So I sent her this, and she hemmed and hawed, and I mean, I don't think she really cared. I think my grandpa cared much more.
Yeah.
Again,
'cause he was
partially because
researching
his ego was kind of on the line because he's researched this stuff.
it. Yeah.
But so then, in the months after that, I had time to sort of digest it and think about it. And I remembered a story that my grandpa would always tell us, that his ancestor, like through his mom's side, I believe, was this preacher, I think in the Northeast, and he married a woman. And we're talking about someone who's like my great grandfather type thing. And he was a preacher. He was like a Protestant preacher or Lutheran or something, whatever it was. And he married, in my grandpa's words, married an Indian squaw, like a Native American woman.
Yeah.
And, I always just accepted it. But so what my theory is, after finding out definitively that the African is not through my dad and it is through my mom, unless there's a family secret that none of us know about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was also a thought in my head, because of how much they were all like protesting this. It was like I was having all kinds of thoughts go through my imagination. But assuming that everything is what we know it to be, it's through my mom. And so I remember this story of this Indian squaw, this Native American squaw that my grandpa would tell. She would help him in his preaching efforts, whatever the story was. And so for generations, like my family has believed that we're part Native American because our relative married a Native American woman. Okay.
Right.
Here's my theory. We know I'm not part Native American. Like
Right.
I'm not. I took 2 tests.
Yeah.
I'm not Native American at all. So, but we do know that some woman in my family past was telling people she was Native American. My theory is because of how racist society was in those days in America, and because there was nothing that you could be that could be lower than black at that time in society's racist eyes, I believe she was part black, maybe half or whatever, and I think she told my family she was Native American
Yeah.
to sort of pass.
Right.
They called it passing in those days. And I think she probably thought like, well, I can't tell them I'm white because I don't look white enough to just pass for white. But I think she kind of thought, well, what's something that sounds better than just being black to them, to the racist whites of society? And I think she chose Native American because it was kind of like the next, but it was like, well, at least it's exotic.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, back in the day, it wasn't like Native Americans were looked upon favorably either. There was a lot of racism against them too.
Well,
I mean,
I mean, just
there was
shows
just
you
racism
how
against
it,
anybody who wasn't like,
that's true.
Protestant English
Yep,
kind of like
totally.
thing.
They hated even the
Even
Irish.
the Irish, yeah, they
Yeah,
hated the Irish. They hated a
yeah.
lot of people. So,
There was a
yeah, but
lot of racism and a lot of hate and bigotry in those days.
yeah.
And
Hey, you don't know, man. I mean, it's sad, but maybe she might have even done it to escape like slavery of some kind.
it's possible.
You never know.
It's possible.
It's
I mean, yeah, it's
There
possible.
were
But
some, yeah, there were like some, antediluvian laws back then, like
yes,
really,
well, as a
really
matter of fact, I
bad.
mean, after learning of this, I mean, the cool thing that came out of it was it really sort of encouraged me to learn a little bit more about the history of slavery
Hmm.
and what really went on. And because you learn a little bit about it in school, but it- when you're taught things in school, it doesn't sink in the same way as when you seek out with an open mind that same information on your
Right.
own
Yeah,
terms.
absolutely.
In those days, I mean, literally, slaves were property. Like, they did
Yeah.
not have any rights, which is so difficult to wrap your mind around.
Yeah.
But literally, black slaves in America, they had no rights.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes a slave owner would have sex with a slave and have a baby with her.
Right.
What would happen is, first of all, it's like there's no way to know to what degree in each situation it would be called rape. But the truth is, because the power difference is so vast,
Yeah.
even if that girl was acting like she liked him, there's no way to be able to justify that interaction as being totally okay because of the incomparably vast difference in power dynamic.
True.
Even if she didn't want to sleep with this guy, what is she going to do? Say no?
Yeah.
She doesn't have the right. Either way, if a baby was born in that way, like a half black, half white baby, let's say, and they would still be out in the fields with the slave. Like, they would still live with the slave. They would still be considered black.
Yeah,
So you had to be like leagues less than half black you had to be like less than half black, I think, to sort of be given full citizen rights and all these things and not be
right.
treated as if you were black and not be treated as a slave. So I kind of learned about some of these things, and like they could still be treated as a slave if they were born, half black, even though they were half white. It's wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't, if that is what happened in my family, that this poor woman, kind of like had to lie about her identity just to not have people hate her or treat her differently. I think that I'd be the last to judge her it's like I can't blame people in those days for trying to pass as white. But it's also just really, it's nice to like learn things, and it's a really cool truth that
It's
I
a
got to
new
learn. Yeah.
layer to your kind of like existence in a way.
Yeah.
It is because it's basically it's kind of like forced you to look at your past a little bit, right? It's interesting.
Totally.
And I mean, I don't know if your great grandfather knew this or not, but he did marry her so he must have, had feelings for her and everything. So that is in some way,
Yeah.
like, it's a redeeming thing.
Yeah, and
you know?
also he might have known that she was
He might have,
part
yeah.
black. He just might have been like, yeah, let's keep it on the down low. Like, I'm with you on this. Let's
I'm with
not
you on this,
let's
but
not tell the
people are
rest of
insane.
let's not tell the congregation and the family. We don't want to
Let's
deal.
not tell Bill the Butcher about.
Let's keep it on the down low around Bill the Butcher. He won't take kindly to it. Yeah. She's like, what could we say I am? He's like, I don't fucking know anything. How about Native American? Yeah. They'll totally buy it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Wow.
I know, cause like I mean, yeah, cause like we're sitting here and you're like, we could be like, why didn't she say she was Brazilian or Spanish or this? But at that time, like they didn't know
What's a
much, like
Brazil?
yeah, what's that? Like
What's a Brazilian?
that's something you tan your shoes with.
They're from a country called Brazil. Is that in Canada?
Who knows if there even was a Canada back then? I
Yeah,
mean,
I
actually,
don't know.
no, it
Yeah,
probably
that's a
was.
whole other. I would
Yeah,
love to. Yeah.
you don't know.
Maybe you need to
Yeah.
tell us the history of Canada now that you live there.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how far back we're going here because, like, yeah, we don't know. Um, yeah, we don't know like when this person existed, which time frame, but it's
Yeah.
definitely it's
So the
definitely
point
at a time when it was pretty
and
bad.
and the most important thing take away from all of this is if I ever in the future if I ever tell the band they're off beat,
Yeah,
they better just know
they better just
I'm
know
for
that
real.
you
I know what I'm
you're
talking about.
Yeah,
I know if anybody knows.
and you have the documentation to prove
I've
it.
got the documents to prove it.
two tests to prove it.
So I've had a couple times people ask me if I was part Middle Eastern or whatever.
Yeah,
So
I know that.
These days I whip out my genealogy paper and show them. I did that to a guy recently. He was like, "Oh, I mean, you don't have to show me," but I was already like halfway into.
Like, take this out.
You're gonna look at this. I worked hard for these results. Yeah, man. Oh man, I'm glad I finally got to tell that
Yeah,
story because
that was a great
I've been.
story.
Thanks for listening. It was long, but
But I mean,
it's
okay,
wild.
we definitely went over a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. But
Yeah.
it's a good good segue into like what are your parting thoughts?
What are there any parting thoughts you have, or is there anything positive that you would send people off with?
I mean, I can't not say this based on what we just talked about, but I will say that you are the product of history of many things.
I'm an
and-
undercover brother.
Yeah, the cover brother. A lot of things happened to put you where you are today. So yeah,
Yes.
the
It's so true. And you don't, and this is what I'll say is that I know, whoever you are listening, I know that you think you know exactly what you are.
but I'm
You
here to
don't
tell
know.
you that
You don't know
don't
until
know.
you know. Yeah.
I want to take that test now, but
You do, you should.
I think I might.
I would love it.
think
I can't
might.
wait I want to see your results. And
This is like
Oh
100% Indian. I'm like, I can't believe I paid $150 for this shit. Thanks a lot.
yeah, it's going to be like 99% of his family's from Bangalore and the other 1% is from,
1% unknown or something.
yeah, 1% Neanderthal.
1% tiger.
1%, yeah, 1% cobra.
I had some
they
crazy
do.
ancestor who married a cobra.
Some amazing cobras in India. I mean, you might be part cobra.
That's cool.
Hopefully it's a king cobra, if
Yeah.
anything.
But yeah, so
Oh my God.
that's my thought is that like a lot of things happened to put you
Yeah,
where you are
you
today,
don't
so
know who was sleeping together in your
Yeah.
past. You really don't.
you don't know. You don't
Dude,
know.
and
Your
then this
ancestors
whole-
were people too. They were just people like you living in a different time
Yeah.
doing crazy shit.
Dude, and then this,
So,
what this
yeah.
made me think, dude, especially because of how weird my family was acting about this whole thing, it made me think, my mom's side specifically, it made me think, are there like families that has this like broken up some
Like,
marriages?
destroyed, yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
like-
Like, what if a kid does the test, gets results back, and it shows it to their dad, and he's like, that's
What?
not what I thought.
Yeah.
That's not what your mom said.
Yeah.
Or, like,
Or he gets back a test and it's like 60% or 50% Spanish, and it's
Yes.
like he's married, and it's like
so
two
she cheated
Indian-
on me.
two Indian parents. Yeah, exactly. Like
She cheated on me with Antonio Banderas.
You said nothing happened when you went to Ibiza.
Ay, 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 ay.
Oh man. So
Yeah.
okay. So what are your parting thoughts on that?
Oh
What's-
man,
what do
I
you-
mean, I can't beat those, but I mean, I guess, I mean, I would encourage people to do that test as long as, I mean, I will say, I know there's a caveat, which is that some of these big companies that do this, some of them have not been discreet enough or responsible with people's information, and there's been major lawsuits about it. Okay.
Okay.
Had you heard about some of this stuff?
No.
Yeah. There was like all these lawsuits against 23andMe for like giving out people's information to companies that basically bought, like, bid for that information and paid them for it, which is really fucked up.
Yeah.
So I did delete my 23andMe account and all my data on their site after like downloading it. But don't use 23andMe, but like there are many companies that do this. There must be a way for you to do it. I don't know what the state of Ancestry.com is, but I would encourage people to do this test because, one, it's really fun and interesting and it's eye-opening and you will learn things from it. And what I find really cool about it is that, I mean, if anything, I think it works against racism or prejudice, because what you learn is that you're a lot of different things. At least most people are, especially Americans. So, it's kind of stupid to be racist because you're probably part whatever that thing is that you hate.
I mean, when you first told me this, that you were 1% like from Africa, I was like, oh,
2%.
Sorry,
don't get it twisted.
Don't dumb it down.
Don't
Tell
you
the
dumb
people
down.
what it is. When I was like 2%, yeah, I was like, that makes sense, because I just assumed, like, isn't that the cradle of civilization? A lot of people came from there, so like I was like,
I kind of thought that too, but it's not really. It's not like that. I think I'll bet you a lot of people think that. It's not like that. Like when it says I'm 4% French, like I'm 4% French.
Right,
I'm 2% African. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like people from Africa, not like original man from whom all races descended type shit. But I think I'm pretty sure it means that somewhere in the last like 400 years, someone in your family, had sex with someone who was at least part whatever that thing is.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's kind of what it means. But that being said, I guess I could dive into that a little bit more as well. But yeah, that's kind of my understanding of it. Yeah.
That's a good place to like leave off, I guess.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah.
let me
Do
just-
the test. It's really fun. It's eye opening.
I think I'm. I was gonna
Nice.
say I think I'm actually ordering it right now.
Yeah, dude, you should. That would be awesome. Oh my God, I totally want to know what you are.
Yeah.
I want to know if you're actually 100% Indian or if there's other stuff.
I mean, I don't have high hopes, because like I know for a fact that it's I'm looking at it right now, and it's like it seems like it's very much like North America specific, but
Yeah.
why not? I don't mind at least giving it a shot.
Yeah.
It doesn't really it's harmless fun at this point. Plus, I think my brother would get a real kick out of it if
Totally.
if I got it and I shared the results with him, because like I think we would have a lot of similar genetics that way. So, or like obviously ancestry. So yeah, let's see. We'll be back next week with my ancestry details.
Go get your genealogy
Go get
test,
it
guys.
done.
Yeah.
This episode was sponsored by Ancestry.com. Just kidding.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm going to get a check in the mail from Ancestry. Thanks for stopping by. Love you guys. Have a good
Bye.
week.
Bye.
Bye.